Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Monday morning magnificent super teaching. Y'all, we have one of the best teachers in the game right now. The queen herself, Miss Bonita Dukes, is about to wake us up this morning to make some magnificent money. So, hey, yo, Miss Dukes, take it away and help us get this money up.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kimbrough. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so guys, listen. First thing we do is our daily affirmations. So after you wake up and you thank God for waking you up, the next thing that you should do is your daily affirmations. Now, we know that I am are the two most powerful words on the planet because what you say next shapes your reality. Think about that. These two words, though they may be small in size, hold great power. I am powerful. I am bold. I am unstoppable. Whatever follows those two words shapes your reality. Now, in the beginning, we did instruct you guys to write down and read daily your own 15 I am affirmations. Okay? So, like I said, after you wake up in the morning and you thank God, you get your day started, you read your affirmations, which will shape your day and eventually your life. So you don't want to just read them, you want to believe them, you want to live them, you want to be them. So, what are you speaking over yourself and allowing to enter your ear gate? So, be it yourself or others, there is power in the tongue. So, what are you listening to? What are you hearing? So, our affirmation, I am a master trader, and with every trade, my balance grows. I am a master recruiter, and like-minded individuals are drawn to me. Guys, let me take you to Proverbs 18, verses 20 and 21. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Now, guys, the NIV version says, from the fruit of their mouth, a person's stomach is filled. With the harvest of their lips, they are satisfied. 21, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So, guys, I just want to stress the fact that what you are speaking, what comes out of your mouth, is what is going to satisfy you, is what is going to sit in your spirit and say, okay, this is who I am, this is what I am, this is what I'm going to do. And whatever that is, that's where it's going to rest. So that's why you have to understand that there is power in the tongue. So you have to be careful what you are saying. That's why we have Mindset Mondays to lead and guide and direct us in changing and shaping and forming our mindset into something it has never been before. Okay, so now that we do our morning affirmations, first thing that we do next is we take a look at the news. Okay, so we're at forexfactory.com. We're going to take a look at the news. I'm going to refresh it. You want to make sure that you refresh it throughout the day, and that is because it can change. So you just want to make sure that you are looking at the most recent and that you're looking at it quite often, because it can change. It can and it will change, and you need to know if you're in a trade, if something is going on. So we see that there is, let's see, there's not a folder, a red folder, until 9:30 this evening, and that is AUD. So what that means is when you have a red folder, that means stop. That is not a trade you want to be in. You do not want to be in a trade with a currency pair of AUD at 9:30 this evening. Because what you want to do is you want to see what direction is this news taking the AUD currency pair in. Because if you happen to be in a trade and it goes in the opposite direction, then it can hit your stop loss, it can take you out, and that's not what you want. Now, if you were to happen to see an orange folder does not have as high impact as a red folder. Orange folder means proceed with caution. So you just want to be careful. You don't have to necessarily get out of the trade. You just want to see what's going on. Is it still going in a good direction? Do you want to get out? Is it okay to stay in? All right. So let's go to our first currency pair. And what we look for are our indicators. Okay, so this is what we have set up. Okay, we've got our stochastic down here. And like I said before, the stochastic tells a story. So, you know, when you were a kid and maybe your parents or your teacher read a story and they said once upon a time, you knew something was coming. Something good was coming. Or it could be something bad, just depending on the story. But that is what the stochastic does. The stochastic tells a story. So it says once upon a time. So it's saying whatever you see the stochastic down here at the bottom, and you're always looking to the far right. That stochastic is pointing up and is going up towards the 80. It's not there yet. But whatever happens in the stochastic is going to happen here first. Before it happens up here, it's going to happen down here. Okay, that's the stochastic. All right, next thing we have are our PSARs. Okay, the PSARs is a reversal in the market, and it's a good place to let us know where we want to put our stop loss. Okay, again, looking at the far right, you're looking at these candles. Now, this candle right here is actually confused. It has a wick coming out of both ends. The candle before it had a wick coming out of both ends. So these are confused candles. This is not when you want to get in the market. If the candles don't know which way they want to go, then we definitely don't want to get in that. Now, the PSAR is going to line up with the candle. So this is the first candle. This is the first PSAR. This is the second candle. This is the second PSAR. When we place our stop loss, we use the PSAR to let us know where we are going to place our stop loss. Okay, now we just had a new candle appear, and as you can see, another PSAR formed. So now this is our first PSAR and this is our second PSAR. So what we do is we're going to place our stop loss either under the second PSAR, so it would be here where you can see that crosshair at, or the first PSAR, it would be here. That is what we use our PSARs for, because like I said, it's a reversal in the market. So more than likely when it starts pulling back, it is not going to go beyond those PSARs. So it won't hit your stop loss and it won't take you out. But if the market reverses and a new PSAR is created in the opposite direction, then it very well could hit your stop loss. And those are the things that you look for. The next thing that we see are the Heikin-Ashi candles. Okay, the Heikin-Ashi candles are the trend candles. It's going to show the trend of the market. And actually we can see a pretty nice M right here. And we'll get more into that at a later time. But the Heikin-Ashi candles show the trend, and that's what we're looking at. Okay, so the trend on this 15-minute time frame is a buy. This right here is the alligator. Okay, the trend is your friend and the alligator keeps you fed. So with the alligator, the blue line is the jaw, the red line is the teeth, and the green line is the lips. What we look for is for the green line to cross the red, and when it does, that is when we can get into a trade and ride out that alligator. So as long as that alligator mouth is wide open and eating, so do we. So let's look and see what the trend is in the market. For that, we go to the higher time frames. Let me take a look at the 1 hour. Okay, the 1 hour is buying. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. 4 hour is also in a buy. And the daily is also in a buy. So very good. So we know that what the GBP NZD right now is in a current buy trend, and that is also the trend of the market. So we can actually go ahead and get into this for a market execution. So we'll go to our MetaTrader 4 on our laptop or desktop, whichever one you're using. And let's see, come over here to the side, to the market watch, locate GBP NZD. What you can do is hover over it, left click, and drag it over to your chart. Now, when you see the plus sign, that's when you want to release it, and it'll place it on your chart. And it's going to be on the hour, so we'll go ahead and put it to the 15-minute. Come up to your templates, find your PowerGator, and there it is, the setup that you're wanting. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a market execution for a buy. So we're going to come up here to new order, select new order. Make sure that your lot size is comparable to your account balance. Okay, once your balance gets larger, then you can up your lot size, but we don't recommend you doing more than 3% of your account balance. All right, so lot size, it's a market execution, going for a buy. I'm going to go ahead and select it. I'm going to get in. Now, anytime you get into a trade, understand that you are going to have immediate pullback. Okay, there is going to be a negative amount, and that is because you have you're purchasing from your broker. Okay, so that is the amount that they are willing to sell that to you at or buy that from you at. So it just depends if you're getting into a sale or a buy, what the broker is going to do. All right, so Now what we're going to do, we've got our market execution. Now we're going to go back to trading view. And what we're going to do is set us up some zones. Now you can do it one or two ways. Okay. Over here, you will select a horizontal line. Now, as you can see, I have mine saved as a favorite. So mine is actually up here. All I have to do is come here and select it. And I need to change the color. Okay, so you've got one or two ways to lay down your lines. You can look and see where, at what point, the wicks are touching multiple times. Okay, actually, here's one. And here, let's see. This is, we'll do this one right here, because actually it's sitting at a support and resistance line right now. Okay, so you want to see how many, you want to see where the wicks have touched a particular point multiple times. So you can either do the wicks, or what I like to do is come up and change my candle into lines. And where those peaks are, that is where it has touched several times. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. I'm going to make it a little smaller. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm left clicking and I'm moving it over to the right so that I can see more of the area. So I can see what it has done in the past, because the market is always going to correct itself. So those same support and resistance lines, they will revisit those same support and resistance lines. Okay. And let's see. All right. So what I'm going to do is, let me see, let me go up to 30 minutes. Let me go up to the hour. Let me go up to the 4 hour. Okay, 4 hour. Let me go back to the 30 minute. All right. Oh, okay, let me go back to the 4 hour then. All right, so the 4 hour is where it has gone up above where it's currently located. So I'm just going to lay down one support and resistance line. Okay, I can see, I'm looking across and I can see that it's touched here, here, and here. All right, so I'm going to lay it down there. I'm going to turn it back into a candle and go back to my 15 minute. Okay, grab my chart. Okay, gonna move it over. And I'm gonna come over here to the price and come down, and that is going to allow me to see where I placed my support and resistance line. Okay, so I'm going to get my ruler. I'm going to place it on this support and resistance line. I'm going to touch that line, and then I'm going to come up and touch this other line. That is 84 pips. So we can break this up. This is a zone, but this is a 4 hour zone. So we can definitely break these up to several different pips. Now that alligator mouth is wide open. We know that the trend of the market is a buy. We know the trend is your friend. So what we can do, pull my chart down. So I'm just going to grab my chart, left click, and pull it down. And that's how I'm able to move it down like that. So I'm going to come back over to my ruler. And from where it is now, we can get 10 pips. So let me come back up. I'm going to change the color to green. Green's going to mean go. I'm going to lay it down here. That's where I'm going to get 10 pips for take profit. Then I'm going to come up and get another line. I'm going to change it to red. And I'm going to count 1, 2 PSARs. Okay, so I counted 1, 2 PSARs and put my stop loss underneath my second PSAR. So now I have my numbers where I want my stop loss, where I want my take profit. So now I'm going to jump back over to my MetaTrader 4. And I'm going to move my MetaTrader 4 over just a little bit so that I can see my numbers. I'm going to come back to the market execution that I had, double click, and then I can modify. Now, what's coming up is market execution. You want to be careful not to do another market execution because that's not what you're wanting to do. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to what type shows up when you double click. All right. So I touch my down arrow or my caret. You got pending order, and you got modify order. So right now we're getting ready to modify our order. And what shows up is our modify order box down here at the bottom. At the top is what is currently running. Okay, so this is where you change your information down at the bottom where it says modify order. This is the box where you change your information. So I'm going to put my cursor here in the stop loss. I'm going to look over here to my trading view window where I have it right over here to the right. The red is my stop loss. So I'm going to put 2.00266. That's where my stop loss is. I'm going to come over here to my take profit box, put my cursor there, and my take profit is the green line that I laid down. So I'm going to put in 2.00712. Now, when I say point, I want you to understand, and I'm going to go back. You actually need to press the decimal point, and this is why. If you just do 2.007 and don't do the decimal, it will never go on the other side of the decimal where you need it to go. So you make sure 2.00712 so that it can look exactly the way it looks over here. Okay, this is the modify line. I'm going to touch it. I now have my stop loss and take profit set. Now, I'm going to move my MetaTrader 4 over so that you can see what it's doing. And I'm going to move up my stochastic. So remember I said the stochastic tells the story. So it's in its pullback right now. You can see that it's starting to angle down. It's up above the 75, and the 75 line says overbought, sell. So that means when it gets up to that point, you get ready because you know it's getting ready to turn around and go into a sale. It has to do that. Sometimes it will go, as you can see, it will go way up above, but understand that eventually it will turn around and come back. You just watch the stochastic and it will let you know when that's going to happen. Okay. So it's, okay, it's getting ready to turn around again. Now, the same thing, if it comes down to the bottom, you got oversold buy, you got lowest point buy. When it reaches the 25 and the 16, that lets you know it is getting ready to turn around and go back into a buy. If it's up here, it's getting ready to turn around and go back into a sale. So just watch. If you're not comfortable with getting in a trade where you know it's getting ready to enter pullback, then you can wait until after it finishes its pullback, and then you can enter your trade. Okay? But we are good to go. Now, as long as, like I said, as long as this alligator mouth is open, we are eating. We're eating as long as the alligator eats. So once that green crosses the red, like if it were to go back down and if it were to cross that red, then that's when we would get out. But as long as it's open, we can ride it out. So looking at the MetaTrader 4, okay, we can see our stop loss is down here. This is the point that we entered our trade, and this is our take profit line right here. Now, if you hover over these lines, it will tell you exactly what you're looking at, what you're going to see, what you're going to get, how many pips, the dollar amount. Okay, if you hover over your stop loss line, you can right click and you can set your trailing stop loss. Okay, so you can come over, come down. 15 points converts to 1.5 pips. 20 points converts to 2 pips. So on and so forth. So if you want to keep your trailing stop loss tight, you can select 1.5 pips, or you can do 2 pips. Now, what a trailing stop loss does is when you set a trailing stop loss, once your trade gets into profit, your stop loss will automatically move and follow your price, and it'll keep you in profit. You can also manually move your stop loss into profit. Or also, while your trade is running, every time another candle forms, another PSAR is going to form. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your stop loss below the first or the second PSAR. This is where you want to keep your stop loss. So if it moves, hover over it, left click, and you can move your stop loss. You can move it up. You can move it down. Okay? You can move it all the way up and move it in profit, so that when that price starts to retrace and starts to come back, if it starts to go into pullback, then once that price hits that stop loss, if it's up here in profit, then it's going to take you out in profit. Okay. Now, I do want to show you guys this information about the stochastic real quick. Okay, the stochastic, highest point sale, overbought sale, got numbers 82, 75, 25, 16, is oversold by, lowest point buy. Okay, so you have a couple of different ways that you can do this. To me, the easiest way is to hover over one of the stochastic lines, okay? So I'm hovering over the blue stochastic line, and I'm going to right click. And as you can see right here, it says stochastic properties. Okay, so I can select that and make sure my numbers are where they should be. So your stochastic should be 14, 3, and 3. The colors are your preference. Whatever is easy on your eyes, what you want, that's completely up to you. The levels are where you're going to change your information. You've got the first level. You will double click that number, that first number, and change it to 82. Then you're going to come over to the description field and double click that, and you'll type in highest point sale. Then you'll do the next line because it's going to give you 2 lines. So then you'll do the next one, double click, change it to 75, go to description, double click, change to overbought sale. Now, once you have done those 2, you will come over here, click add, and it'll add you a line. And that way you can type in the number 25, put in oversold by. The number 16, put in lowest point buy. Okay, now I'm going to delete this line because I don't need it. All right, so just have those 4, select OK, and then that is going to be on your stochastic so that you will always be able to see that information. Okay. We also have some other things that we've added to our MetaTrader 4. You see we've got our pip counter. Okay, we also have a video on that. And this is our countdown to our next candle. Okay, so that is also something that you can add to your MetaTrader 4 just to make it easier, to make it better. All right, so now what we're going to do is, let's see, since the trend of the market is in a buy, the trend is your friend, we are actually going to do a pending order. Okay, let's do a pending order. All right, so we are waiting for the pullback, for it to keep going. So what we're going to do, and we can see that it is currently at a support and resistance line, and it needs to push through to keep going. So what we can do in order to do a pending order, to do take profit 2, I'm going to get a line. I'm going to change the color just for visual, just so that I can tell what point is what. So this right here, this green line is our current take profit. That's what we're waiting for it to hit. So we can say here, let's see. Now you've got a couple of options to do a pending order. You can either let your pending order start with the current price, or you can wait and let it continue on to make sure it's going to continue on and select another entry point. So let's see what that is. All right. So that is about 16 pips. So I am going to move that down a little bit. Okay. Now what do we have? Okay. So that is almost 10. Okay, so this is almost 10 pips. So this can be take profit 2. If you get in at this price, this can be take profit 2, or you can just wait for it to come here and then do your pending order. All right, so let's go ahead and do a pending order. And actually what we're going to do is use our take profit, our previous take profit, for our entry price. Okay, so this is the currency pair that we're looking for. This is where we want our pending order. So we can go ahead and double click that line again, or you can go up to new order. So this is what happens when you double click the line. If you do new order, it's going to give you the exact same information. Okay, so we'll leave it here. The type is going to be pending order. And we are going to do a buy stop. Okay, a buy stop means it's going to get to a certain price point and it's going to continue going into a buy. Our entry price is right here. It's our take profit. So let's go ahead. That is going to be our at price. That's where we want it to start. 2.00712. That's where we want it to start. Our stop loss is going to be the same as our previous stop loss. So we'll come up here, put our cursor in the stop loss box, and type 2.00261. Now, our take profit, let me move my chart over a little bit so we can see it, was that pink line. So that's going to be a little bit about 10 pips. So let's use that for our take profit. 2.00813. We've got a stop loss, we've got a take profit, we've got an at price. Replace our order. So we now have take profit 1 and take profit 2 for that particular trade that we're in right now for the GBP NZD currency pair. Okay, and let me see. All right, so let's see. Go ahead and minimize that. Let's take a look and see. Let's see what GBP JPY is doing. Now, also, guys, let me go back real quick, because if you are using the MetaTrader 4 on your laptop or desktop, you'll enter it here. You can also do the same thing on your phone, using the MetaTrader 4 on your phone. Okay, so if you're putting in this information on your phone, you go to the MetaTrader 4, you will select the arrows facing opposite, which is going to be your quotes. Locate your symbol that you're looking for, which is the GBP NZD. So you locate the GBP NZD, and then what you'll do is you'll press and hold your finger on that currency pair. And then a box will come up that you can select new order, open chart, symbol properties, or you can change the view. You don't want to change the view. Leave it the way it is. But you'll select new order, and then you can enter in this exact same information. If you have an iPhone, it'll say stop loss and take profit. That's where you will enter that information. If you have an Android, the stop loss will be a red line. The take profit will be a green line. Okay, now at the top where it says market execution, there'll be a drop down box. So if you select that, you can see that you can select buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, or buy stop. Buy stop or sell stop, sorry. So you can do a pending order, you can do a market execution, or once you actually have the trade running, you can also go back into the chart and modify in your MetaTrader 4 on your phone. Okay, so what you'll do is on your MetaTrader 4 on your phone, you'll be looking at your trading view and put in the numbers that you have on your trading view on the MetaTrader 4 on your phone. Okay, Let's see. Just do. All right. Okay. Just a second. Now, I'm looking at GBP JPY, and those candles are looking pretty confused. So, let's see what's going on in the market. Okay. Now remember, the market has three directions: up, down, and sideways. So right now I'm looking at GBP JPY on the 1 hour. It's sailing, it's in a sail, but it's in a sideways sail. Look at those candles are very confused. Those wicks are coming out of both ends. Okay, the 4 hour is doing the same thing. Those candles have wicks coming out of both ends. What's the daily? Okay, the daily is in a buy, but that last candle looks like it's getting ready to make its change. That's a doji candle that's getting ready to, looks like it's getting ready to reverse. So with this particular trade, because there is no time frame confluence, the trend of the market isn't stable. We're not going to get into this one. So let's look at USD CHF. Okay, it is currently in a sale. Looks good. Let's see what the trend is doing. Okay, the 1 hour is selling, and it is open a little bit more, although those candles are a little confused. Let me see, the 4 hour is in a strong sale, and the daily is in an even stronger sale. Okay, so with that, we know that this current trend right now, remember the trend is your friend. The trend is in a sale. So alligator mouth is wide open. We can see the PSARs. Okay, we've got our one candle, one PSAR, second candle, second PSAR. Okay, first, second, first, second. All right, so it is in a sale. Again, the mouth is wide open. All right, USD CHF. Let's do a market execution on that one. Okay, so again, come over. Let's see. Pull this down a little bit so I can see. Looking for USD CHF. Give me a moment. About to lose my voice. Okay. So USD CHF, I'm going to hover over it. I'm going to left click, which allows me to grab it. I'm going to bring it over. And right there, when you see that plus sign, that means you can add it to your chart. Okay. Select the 15-minute time frame. Come up to my template and select the PowerGator that I have saved already. Okay, so it is in a sale. Now, let's take a look at it. All right, so we can see that the stochastic is already starting to make its turn, so it's in its pullback. So let's do this. Let's lay us down some lines. Let's see, and as you can see, this is a previous support and resistance line from an earlier trade, from when we were looking at it. So we know that it's sitting at a support and resistance line right now, currently. Okay, and if it pushes on through the support and resistance line, this is the next zone that it can go to. So let's do this. Instead of doing a market execution, we'll just go ahead and let's see, we'll go ahead and do a pending order. Okay, so I'm looking at my candles and it's come down to at least here, but that's when the candles were confused. So I'm looking here, and this is a good point where it's come down here, it's come down here, so it can go at least here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my line, and I'm going to come below where it has already come so far. And I'm going to lay it down here. And I'm going to delete this line right here because I don't want anyone getting confused. That is where we were on a previous trade. So take that away. Okay, so my pending order, I'm saying if it comes at least here, it'll keep going with a possibility of coming all the way down to here. Let's see how many pips that is. Okay, so from this line all the way down to here, okay, that is 7.5 pips. Okay, so from here to here, that is 7.5 pips. Now, we like to be able to get more than 7.5 pips. But what we're going to do is we are going to watch it. We're going to go ahead and grab our 7.5 pips for a pending order. But we just want to make sure that it's going to keep going past this support and resistance line. And we can always get in again for take profit too. So I'm going to grab another line. I'm going to change the color. This time I'm going to turn it red. And that one is going to be my support and resistance line. So here's my first candle, here's my second candle, and here's my first and second PSAR. So remember, I am going to lay down my support and resistance line. If it is going in a sale, your support and resistance line, let me try that again. If it is going in a sale, your stop loss needs to be above the PSAR. And you're looking at the first and second candles, that's where the PSAR is. First and second PSAR above the first and second PSAR. Let's go back to GBP NZD. If you are in it for a buy, your stop loss should be below the PSAR. So you got the first, second PSAR, that's where your stop loss is. So actually we can move this because another PSAR has formed, so we can move it and push it a little closer. So you want to keep a check on your trades. All right, so let's go back, and these are the numbers that we're going to enter in. Okay, this is going to be our at price where we want it to start. This is going to be our stop loss, and this is going to be our take profit. Now remember, the candle countdown is over here, so it's going to push your numbers. So that's why that pink line isn't lining all the way up with the pink number that's down here. The blue line is down here. They look like they're really close looking at this, but that's only because you've got this countdown showing where the current price is. Okay, so let's go to our MetaTrader 4 and put in our pending order for the USD CHF. Make sure you're on that currency pair, USD, CHF. We're going to do new order, and it's not going to be a market execution. It is going to be a pending order. We'll select pending order, and this time it is going to be a sale stop. Okay, a sale stop says it's going to get to a certain price and keep going. Okay, let me move MetaTrader over a little bit so we can see our numbers. Okay, the price where we're getting in is our pink number. So it's going to start with a point. You guys see how that cursor moved once I put the point in? 90688. Okay, and then we come up here to the top because we're not doing a modification. So when it's a market execution or when it's a pending order, the information that you're putting in is at the top. When you're modifying an order, it's going to be down at the bottom. So make sure you are paying attention to the type of trade that you're in and where you're trying to put your information. Okay, so I'm going to put my cursor up here to the stop loss. My stop loss is going to be this red number here, 0.90850. My take profit, I'm going to put it in over here. Put my cursor there. Take profit is going to be this bottom blue number all the way down here, 0.90613. And then I'm going to place my order. Okay, so I have a current trade running and 2 waiting to activate. All right. Now, because we ride the alligator, as long as that alligator mouth is open, we can eat. As long as the alligator belly getting full, our mouths are getting full. We're just going to let it ride. So, although we have a stop loss and we can set a trailing stop loss, it's up to you if you want to set a trailing stop loss or not. So what I'm going to do is show you how to set a trailing stop loss. Okay? Got to make sure you're hovering over the line and you know that you're there, because the information will pop up for you in the box like that. I'm going to right click. I'm going to come down to trailing stop loss, and I'm going to do 20 points because that's going to be 2 pips. Now, you will know you will know that your stop loss is set. Let's make sure that set for us properly. Trailing stop loss. Okay, there's our check mark beside the trailing stop loss. We got 2 points. Okay, well, it says 20 points, but we know it's 2 pips. So we're just gonna let it do what it does and just let it run. Now, this is, let me see, let me go back to the GBP NZD. Okay, when we talk about your lot size, okay, you want to make sure that your lot size can hold the pullback. So that's why we tell you not to risk more than 3% of your account balance. Now, that is a suggestion. Of course, we're not telling you what you have to trade, what you have to put as a lot size. That is your option. But you do have, all right, you do have the compound growth chart. so that whatever your balance is, if you're trying to grow it by 10%, this is going to let you know your profit goal for the day, how much you're looking to make. This is an Excel spreadsheet, so if you're wanting to change it and grow your account by 20%, all you have to do is change it, and the information will change for you. So you're looking at your lot size over here. That's what these are over here. These are your lot sizes. All right. So if you start an account with $200 and you want to grow it by 20%, your first profit that you're looking for that day is $40. How do you get to $40? You can either put your lot size at 0.04 or 0.05, and this is the number of trades, or actually the number of pips that you're looking for. Okay, so you want 98 pips at 0.04 for your trade for the day, and that is going to get you close to your $40. If you have 0.05 lot size, you're looking to gain 73 pips for the day, and that is going to get you close to your $40 that you're looking for your profit goal. Now, like I said, you can select whatever lot size you want. So if excuse me. So if you select a 0.40, which is a very high lot size for starting with $200, you only need 10 pips for the day. But understand, if you choose to have a lot size that high and your trade that you're in starts pulling back, if your account balance cannot hold it, it's going to kick you out. And you could very well end up blowing your account, which is what you don't want to do. You don't want to have that happen. That is why we also have our PIP chart, so that we know what we're going to get. So a 0.04 is going to get us 40 cents per pip. 0.05 is going to get us 50 cents per pip. So this is also going to let you know where you want to be, what you want to do. Okay? All right, so we're letting our trades run, letting them do what they do. We have 3 trades in so far. And guys, it is 6:03. So that is our time for the morning. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns? No? No? Okay. So Mr. Kimbrough, are you still there?
Yes, ma'am, I am. Thank you so much
Mike?
for that. I'm here. I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Kimbrough.
Thank you so much for that awesome, as always, training. You get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure that we all eat, and that's a wonderful thing, y'all. We got one of the best teachers in the game. So everybody, y'all just thank Miss Benita Dukes for getting up and training us every morning. I love it. I love it. I love it. As we grow, we are going to get better. So, you know, y'all get out there and trade like some giants today. Make some money in the market this morning. You could have chosen to be anywhere else, but you chose to be right here with these billionaire bosses. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Everybody have a good day. That will end our session.